build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die.
Hello everybody, welcome to Shortbangers. I'm Matty.
I'm Colin. How's it going, mate? Aye, good.
Aye.
Good.
It's a wee early recording session for us today.
Aye, it's quite nice to get one done. I get the weekend off.
Aye,
as well.
Because there's no game to talk about this weekend, which is nice.
Mm.
I've shattered. I had one of those nights last night. You're sleeping. So 2 nights ago, on Tuesday night, I was sick as anything. The night was a write-off, and pretty much from about 5:30, I was in my cot, only getting up to throw up till about 11 o'clock. Then fine, and I slept through till 8:30. So that must have been it's about 15 hours more or less in bed.
Aye.
The last night,
we haven't done that for a long time.
Oh no, it was unreal. Fell asleep normal time last night, but then I woke up. Dog woke up at the back at 3. So I got up, let him out. He went down the toilet, and then I fell asleep pretty much straight away. But then woke up 10 minutes later to go to the toilet myself. And if I should have just went, 10 minutes, like I can't be bothered. I went back to sleep, and then I woke up needing, and I couldn't get back to sleep. It was about 6 o'clock before I fell asleep again. So the alarm went off at the back at 8. It was like, oh my word.
That's one of them you feel horrendous when you wake up the second time, eh?
Aye.
What's the longest you've ever slept?
Oh, good question. Would have been in my teens. Like I used to love a sleep in my teens. Like I could genuinely sleep until tea time. But then I would probably not go to sleep till early hours in the morning.
That's the thing. What time you're coming in and that.
So,
I was moaning at my daughter the other week. She was back for a few days for uni, and she'd been out in the morning to get her nails done or some shite, and the shops and that. And then she came back in, and she sat with me for half an hour, sort of lunchtime. And then she went up the stair and that, and I never thought anything of it. And then it's about 3:30. I thought, where the fuck is she? So in her room, in her fucking bed, because she'd been up in the morning. And then they started hearing stories about she'd been a night out, a student's night out. Go home, I don't know, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, whatever it is, the usual. And went to her bed, woke up about lunchtime. Her pal came in, the pal that she shares a flat with, came in her room, had a chat with her, but she started dozing off when the lassie was talking to her because she went back to sleep. 7 p.m.
Wow.
I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Decent innings.
Make sure you've not been fucking spiked or something. Like if you're sleeping that long, like that isn't normal. But maybe is, eh? It's not normal as me as a established middle-aged man, but fuck knows what it is for a 19, 20-year-old.
As an adult, we've grown out of all that nonsense, eh? I like a sleep,
I'd love to get a bash. Aye.
I
don't know if I could though. I like the idea of it. Right. See, some days I'll be like, I'm fucking knackered. I'm going to go to my bed straight after work the night. Like, get my dinner in my bed for 6:30, 7 o'clock. Never happens. Never ever. Because by that time you're awake again. Like you're all right. Like once you're up and moving about.
You've ridden it out.
It's like that get your second wind.
Aye. So not even that happens.
Imagine sleeping to 7 p.m. though, eh? Like you wake up, you must be like being on the night shift or something.
Aye, you just want to go back to dark
again. Aye, that's what you want. What day is it? Okay.
Aye.
Okay.
What can I have that's suitable for breakfast and dinner at the same time? And I'll just go back to my bed again.
Bacon and eggs and that. Never at any time of the day. That.
Aye, good shout. All day breakfast. If I
had one of them the other day, by the way.
But if you wake up at 7 o'clock, you're still tired. Irrespective of how much sleep you have, I bet you wake up and you're like, I'm tired.
Aye. But I think that's what it is, though. I think if you have a really good sleep, a long sleep, it takes you longer to wake up. Is that as well? Because you're a bit more sort of no dazed, but that sort of lethargic. But you must get the benefit of it later.
When you're your age, you need all that sleep. Like, thank God I slept for 17 hours.
Well, it'll not be long till we're getting up in the morning, putting the suit on to go work and get the papers.
I can get some rolls in the papers.
You didn't see that as much anymore, eh? You used to see old men with their suit on going and getting the paper in the morning. You go to your work and you're thinking, get back to your fucking bed.
Aye, when did you get up at this time? We used to say it on the way to school. We'd talk about it, eh? Aye, that'll definitely be me.
Of course, no, because there'll not even be a newspaper in print probably by then. Till we get to retire in fucking 30 years.
Probably won't be, yeah. Name
Nah.
print news.
Nah.
You still have roles though,
You've still got rules.
and the news
Keith,
agent roles
Keith
are the best
Jackson
roles
and
you
that
can
will
get.
be out of job, but then there'll be no fucking requirement for clickbait fucking shite.
No, apart from
Well,
us.
there'll be plenty of clickbait,
Aye.
actually, because it used to be headlines, now it's clickbait. That's how they sell their advertising and that now on the papers online.
Do you think we'll have evolved to old bangers by then? And the basically will be half an hour of us reminiscing and complaining about the youth of today.
Aye, possibly, although I reckon their listening base might have all died off by then, because I think they're all older than us.
I'm not aware of them. Right, anyway, let's get some questions in. Guinness 2022, first one is category Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge is the famous bridge in London with the two towers and ability to open to let ships through. Why is it not called Towers Bridge?
I didn't know it done that, actually.
Did you know? You must have
Nah.
seen the pictures it looked like that.
Do you know what? I must have got told, because we done a couple of summers ago, we went down there and we went on the not the cruise. You go on a boat down the Thames.
Yeah.
Takes you from one end to the. I can't remember what. Oh, it was part of the bus tour. Like you take the open top bus tour, you get to jump off at Tower Bridge, I think it is, and get on the boat, and it takes you down to the Eye. And you go under all the bridges, and it gives you the history of them and that. So he must have told us it opened up. Can't remember though.
You bound to have.
Would it not be Tower Bridges?
No, because it's one bridge.
It's one bridge. It
It's one
splits into
bridge,
two.
it's two towers. I always think they'd be great for jumping over. Like, do you know, you imagine Evil Knievel doing something.
Aye,
like
the
that.
A-Team or something.
Aye, I'm sure it must have happened in a film. There's bound to be a film with them jumping over Tower Bridge.
Mission Impossible or something, because they filmed that, didn't they?
Aye.
One of them.
Towers Bridge is it feels awkward to say it, but I don't know if that's just because
Mhm.
you're used to saying Tower Bridge.
That was my initial thought. I thought, oh, could it be one of them? You'd trip it up. It would get complicated. But there's only one Tower of London. Do you think that's tied into it in any way?
No, it is Tower Bridge at the Tower of London. So if it is, maybe that's
Aye.
why it's nothing to do with the towers on the actual bridge itself. It's
I think it is. I think it is there, mate. I think that's where it is.
And you'll have seen the Tower of London before.
Aye. Just didn't hotel right over the road of it.
How much was your bus tour? Was it about 25 quid?
Oh, good. Oh well, I got it. I bought it in advance on the app. I can't remember. But it was a family ticket as well. It wasn't an individual one. Aye. Maybe 40 odd, 50 quid for the 4 of us, maybe.
Oh, that's not bad.
And it included so it was all day. Was it a 2-day one we done or an all day one? And then you could get on and off, hop on and hop off thing, and you got a boat ride included as well. Wasn't too bad.
Nice.
Compared to the Dublin one and the Belfast one as well. Actually, that was shite compared to the London one and that.
It is. We had a wee look at doing the bus tours when we were down, but it looked awfully expensive, and I didn't know how good they were. So
well, look, you can just get on. You get on and off, and it depends how long you're going for. But when we've done these city tours, like usually do that early day one or day two, so that then you go, we'll go and see that. We'll go and see that. Then it gives you an idea of the thing. The London one was good though, and it was a nice sunny day. It wasn't a cold. It was middle of July. It was a scorcher. So actually, if anything, you're going, fuck, put a hat on, rather than saying, well, we sit down the stair. Can we get under that shelter at the front?
Aye.
But it was good.
I quite like the idea of being one of the guides and just making it all up. That would be my favourite thing. See when they do the tour things on The Apprentice. Like if you watch The Apprentice and they go, you've got to do like an event for your client, and then they come around and they got to show them around, and they're always fucking idiots when they're doing it. Like,
you wonder how these folk get on, eh? Like, well, they get on because they're going to be entertainment purposes, but does Sugar not have to give them money or work with them or something? They must be thinking, what the fuck, can we not get some good gins on that as well?
He funds a business for them now, I think, rather than employing them. But
that's just a tax dodge, eh? Or it'll be funded through the advertising of the programme or something.
I would just make it up. I would see how far I could push it with the facts and inverted commas that I was given before somebody went, This boy doesn't care what he's on about.
Nah.
100% maybe doing that. Kind of like this is where they invented jelly and stuff. Just like
I can imagine you did it.
just like that. Just aye. Right, Wordy McWorried Face asked if the answer to Jarko Wiss once with Duhan van der Merwe and a bag of self-leveling screed, what's the question?
What's he saying? Go and read it again. I got some of the names. Jakovis, Demerva.
Duhan van der Merwe, who's that?
He's the boy who scored the tries for Scotland against England on Saturday.
Oh, is he? Right. A good Scottish name, that, isn't it? Right. If it's, I think that originates in Pumferston, that name.
You didn't need to be Scottish to play rugby for Scotland anymore, or in a national rugby anymore. You don't have to be from that country anymore.
Do you think that should be a rule that's just adopted by everybody, like in football as well?
I think it is.
To get into a World Cup.
I think it is in football. We just didn't really use it. It's residency.
All right.
Because it used to be 3 years. You had to live here 3 years. Now it's 5. We've even got players that have played for international teams in our international squad at the moment. They've already played for Australia and that. And then they come here and go, I'm Scottish now.
Taking a piss about that, isn't it?
Aye, it's just what it was intended for was countries like Fiji and Samoa and that, because what would happen was New Zealand, Australia would go, get that cunt on a scholarship, right?
Aye.
Tongan, he's not got to, you play for Tonga, you've got to get pumped all the time when it comes to the World Cup. Come to school in Australia or New Zealand, and they play for them, and then they get discarded, and then they couldn't then go back and play for their country at birth, which would then mean you're weakening them by not allowing them to play. But then what happened was England, Scotland, Ireland went, oh, fucking gap in the market here. Come and live over here for 3 years. But it's now 5. They call them project players. Something like, I've seen a stat, boring for folk. This isn't a football podcast, so we can talk about other sports, right?
Correct, yeah. I'm bored though.
There was a stat, but just to give it, there was something like a 40-man squad for Scotland, and it was something like 21 or more than 20 aren't Scottish at birth.
That's crazy.
40. So South Africans and that, English guys obviously as well.
And did they stand up, sing Flower of Scotland and that at the start? And
they've got to learn that. Part of the thing. It's like the Scottish guys that are there. You've got to fucking do it, sort of thing. So they don't know it and that.
It is. It's like the devalues the victory in my eyes. There you go.
If everybody's doing it.
Well,
because then it's a level playing field, then, I
suppose.
It's like you join the club, or do you know, like, if you can't beat them, join them, sort of thing. We've just taken it to fucking extreme measures when we're going more than 50%.
All right, well, I can't who he is, and right. So this was the question: if the answer is Jarko Viss once with Duhan van der Merwe, I'm presuming I'm pronouncing that all right.
De Merwe.
Merwe, right? And a bag of self-leveling screed. What's the question?
I don't know what the last thing is.
I think self-leveling screed is like stuff that you put on the ground.
You can put anything on the ground, like.
I like it to fill stuff, or to on the top pavements or something like that. I think.
Oh, like the white chips that go in the pavement and the cement.
I'm going to look it up, Colin, and say.
Because it's important. Because I don't know what I'll go back. Well, you do that, right? I'll think about what Jarko Viss once means.
All right. So there's loads of concrete floor screeding. So I'm on the right lines with it.
Okay.
There's no pictures. Just go with that. It's to do with your floor, right?
Right.
So, screed is a thin layer of material usually laid on top of a concrete subfloor. It can go in between concrete and other layers to help even it out or provide a better surface for adhesives. By the way, can we joke about this being like a idiot's QI? Right. There's been 2 clips have come up on my Facebook thing of QI. One of them was one of the women comedian, saying she had laser treatment on her Jack and Danny, and then they had like a minute conversation on what Jack and Danny meant, right? And then jokes about fannies around it. And then the other one was Rob Beckett asking about doing a good shite. So I'm actually thinking we've just we've just gone. There might be folk out there going, I think what self-leveling screed is there either. And when we've just come out, there's a bit of internet research. We've explained what it is. We've still not answered the question. Right, we'll come back to that in a second. But
I didn't actually understand the question. Like that's the.
well, it's like a Cluedo question. Do you know what, when you play Cluedo and it's like
Mhm.
Professor Plum in the living room with a machete or whatever the fuck they use? Right, it'll not be a machete, but it'll be like a candlestick holder or something like that.
Aye.
This one was Yarkovis with Van der Merde and
So we've got two people here.
aye.
So
what
Jarkovic has killed somebody with a person and buried them in the cement.
aye, so who, like that's it. So who who's well, I mean, you could go to some very dark places with that one. My filter kicked in there. There was like two that I was going to go straight to.
Aye.
Not going to do it.
You need to tell me when we finish.
After Brian would have done it, just as if he was still kicking about.
Aye.
Right. So, all right. Who took charge at the Queen's funeral? That would be the question. So it was Jarkovis and Jan van der Merwe for a bag of self-leveling screed. Fuck it, just chuck it in there. Put that over the top. Charge a millions for it. Anyway, we're better than QI, is what the point I was going to make on that one. Or at least not as up our own arses as they are for doing the same thing.
Ken, I've not really watched QI.
Nah,
I watch all the sort of kind of, or I have at times watched all the kind of shows like Mock the Week and Would I Lie to You and all of that, on and off. I've never watched them like start to end. I've dipped in it, but I think I've ever watched a whole episode of QI.
The problem with QI is just they do the episode from deep inside their own arses. I think that's like.
It's Stephen Fry, though, eh? Is he still on it?
No, it's guess who?
Oh, aye. I know who you mean. The woman, I can't remember her name.
Sandy Toksvig.
That's the one.
I get you. If I just folk that watch that will have known. What was it was like the removal of your neck. Aye. So she does it now. I think she's still doing it.
Right.
That's who was on the clips anyway. She hadn't heard of Jack and Danny as well, which I found hard to believe.
that.
Unless she was just being coy.
Aye.
Right.
So it's obvious anyway, isn't it? Like, it's some of the ones they caught in a rhyme and slang. You go, I don't know what they fucking mean. Like, I don't know what that one. I'm trying to work out what it rhymes with. But Jack and Danny.
Aye, Jack and like your Shireen.
Aye, that's one of the best ones. Eh? That was one of the best ones.
Right, curvy this bit. All right, John. Asked, how many sharks would you say is the equivalent strength of a fully armed Trident submarine?
Sharks are quite powerful, aren't they? I think any of them are nuclear strength, though.
No, there was video footage of a shark that they reckon was about 350 years old, kicking about the other day. I don't care how they know that's how old it is.
There'd be the rings inside it.
Aye, cut open.
Aye.
Count them. Aye.
Yeah.
Catch it, cut open.
Now, how would they know? Maybe this is the size yet. Like, do they keep growing for the 350 years? So they go, oh well, you know what? It's fucking 10 meters long, so must be 350.
Maybe, but I think for powerful sharks, you need to like presume you're talking about the most powerful sharks, right? So what are they, like a great white or a hammerhead? Hammerhead sounds tougher than a great white, but I think a great white would batter a hammerhead.
You know what? I don't know, because like my wife and one of my daughters went through a spell of watching loads of shark programs on the telly, and I quite like watching it, but I wasn't really listening. I was more watching for the action bit rather than listening to the stats and the facts.
Aye.
So the answer is I don't know. I think it's quite interesting, but I don't know.
I'm going to say 15.
Aye, well, it's the obvious one to go to.
Aye.
So 15 great whites would be the same strength as a Trident submarine.
Aye.
Right. That sounds about right.
I think, right, and this is my logic behind it, right? So see if they were making a new Jaws film, right? Jaws was a great white shark, and Jaws was able to bite through boats and shit like that, right? Which made him scarier and harder to catch. if they were making it now and they put a submarine in the film, this shark would have submarine crunching capabilities. Otherwise, it wouldn't be scary enough. They'd be like, "Oh, we're safer in a submarine."
Aye.
The shark would have to be able to kind of crunch through it. So, if we're making a movie, which I'm now putting that condition on, that this fight is happening in the sea in a film, there's soldiers or seamen in a Trident submarine, and they think, "Oh, there's a great white shark. It's Jaws 4 or whatever number that they're on now. They'll not get us in here." And then all of a sudden, there's a big clang at the back of the submarine. They go, "What the fuck was that?" And then get back, and Jaws is giving it the big "all right, cunts."
Do you think they would
Look who
just
it
fire
is.
the? Do you think they would just fire the missile?
At the shark, they're not hitting a shark with a missile. Like even a big, the shark.
Do they
See
not
it
have
coming.
fancy like technology though that like they can aim
Aye,
it and it
to
locks
go
in
after-
like in Top Gun and that?
to go after other boats and submarines? There's no, as far as I know, there's no shark seeking
But how does
missile.
that work? Well, so surely their technology, if they're aiming it at something and it locks in and all that, kind of like you see in like Top Gun.
Uh-huh.
I know it's a boat rather than a plane, but is a submarine class as a boat?
Well, the Germans called it a U-boat for like
Under. Does U stand for
Unterwasser.
under?
Yep.
Aye.
Underwasser.
Aye, so it's
Bit
still
German
technically a boat.
Aye.
Good, that was good. Disney, they lose it, eh? They lose it. The the so if they've got the technology to go lock it on that boat or fucking bit of land or whatever it is they're going to blow up, right? How can they just lock it on the shark?
I don't think it works on living things. I think it goes on like a
Why?
high heat signature. So on another plane where it's like fucking really hot at the engines, it can go, "Well, that's definitely a fucking plane."
Mm.
But and it would avoid birds and things like that because they're not hot enough for it. I think it goes like that.
Right.
Although they have got the missiles that they can steer now. Do you remember, like in the Gulf War and that, they had the laser ones, and they put the footage on the TV, and it would kind of ping down, and the folk would be sort of steering them with a wee joystick.
Like a computer game.
Aye. So I don't know if that works underwater though. It's harder to turn a missile
But
on that underwater.
a shark would be hot. A shark would have. Are they cold-blooded?
Cold-blooded, aye.
Hmm.
And there'll be other things with similar heat signatures, I would think. Maybe not as big, but I think it'd be too confusing for a missile.
And probably you probably know what to waste your nuclear weapons on that. Although you know what, like we do waste them, eh? We pay trillions for them, and we never use the cunts.
Aye.
You know what I mean? It's almost like why we bother, isn't it?
Maybe that's the game we should get. If there's not a niche in the funeral market, maybe we just should start making nuclear missiles. Can't be that difficult, eh? Split an atom, like we break loads of things. So
we could, but we could just pretend we've made one because nobody's ever got to use it anyway.
Does it work? Yep, definitely works. Have you tried it? Can I try it? Imagine if we tried it, you daft bastard. No,
I know,
we've
we'd
not
kill
tried
everybody.
it.
And then you'd never time me. But that's me, you know, like if getting political on it, eh? It's like we pay fucking trillions. It is trillions. Right, we've got a cost of living crisis. We can't afford to pay the fucking NHS. We can't afford to pay our teachers. We can't afford to pay me enough, right? And we're just fucking spending trillions on something we've never got to use.
Aye, because
we've got a war on the go now, and we didn't use it.
I know, and look
and
how
it's
much
not deterring anybody.
No, exactly.
So what is it? What's it for?
Aye, somebody's getting rich out of it. It's not us.
I'm sure there's people work in nuclear power stations that would end up out of work, I suppose. But I don't know how many that is and what other jobs they could go in and work in.
They're making energy. It's like nuclear power is like a cleaner energy than fossil fuel. So
right, so they'd still have a job then.
Aye, they'd still be fueling people's houses and stuff like that. Cars now. So
I just think it's but it's one of the things. Like when a political party say we're no wanting to have nuclear weapons, it's used as by their opposition.
Aye.
As a reason not to vote on them, and you're like, we don't need them, mate.
No, we've got some. Just use the ones we've got.
We've only ever used them. Well, not even us. They've been used twice in the history of the world, and they got fucking hammered for doing it. And there's still repercussions yet. Like, so we're not going to fucking bother. And that £1 trillion a year we're going to use to give a 20 grand pay rise across the board.
You can afford a loaf of bread.
Aye.
Right, we're just about out of time. So the last question for John, continuing that theme, is it's got two here, right? Which would you rather which would you then rather have fight on your behalf against the hardest cunt in the sea? And who do you think is the hardest cunt in the sea?
Who would I have between the nuclear?
The trident
submarine.
and all the sharks, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they'd be fighting, presumably, what's that, the hardest thing? It'd be one of the big whales. Although they're quite placid things, are they?
I was going to say, is the shark no harder than the whale? Like,
whales are massive. A whale would swallow up a shark, no bother.
who's the king of the sea? Kind of, we've got the king of the jungles, the lion.
It'd be a whale.
Be a whale.
Aye.
But would the whale? Would that be like a? I suppose that would be like a heavyweight fighting a lightweight at the boxing, eh?
Aye.
Be like if they catch you, they're knocking you out. But they've got to be that slow. That you've got the other one's got to get a few digs in before the big swing comes round.
But I think they've got enough padding in that they could probably survive it. Whales are massive. Like a killer whale, even just the name. Killer whale, I don't know nothing about them. Maybe they're misnamed, maybe they have quite placid things, but like a killer whale against a great white shark, I'd put my money on the whale. Because I think the whale will just go chomp like that and take it home. The shark couldn't chomp a whale in a winner. It would have
they'd have to be taking an animal fear in that.
And the whale would be going, I'm not having this. Swat it away with his big fin.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe coax it to come to the top of it and then just fire it out the sea with his blowhole. I'll wait till it comes up the top.
So, based on that answer, then I was saying the submarine, because
the whale's going to swallow the submarine.
The whale will swallow the submarine as well.
And
they cold-blooded too, eh?
Yeah.
But it was the shark or the fucking boat was the question.
Aye. So who are you fighting the whale? Yeah. So, it's a conundrum, Colin.
You'd have to take the boat, eh?
Aye.
And then take your chances against the whale. Just like see if you can swim faster than it, or the boat could sail. Does it sail underwater? How does it work underwater? It's pretty Craig Snow, isn't it?
Aye, Craig could tell us it's propelled underwater. Because it doesn't sail. I wonder if this will call it sailing though, just because it's a nautical term.
That's what I meant. Aye.
Well, we'll get in touch with Craig.
A proper answer on that one. Well, he can listen in, he can fucking tell us. We'll see how long it takes the cunt to listen to it.
If you were in the submarine and the whale did chomp you up, you could just get out and attack it from the inside. I'm thinking Jonah and in the biblical tale, Jonah gets swallowed by the whale. He's all right. He just says a wee prayer and I think gets forgiveness or something, and then walks out. Just fucking. See you later, whale.
See if you didn't walk out, would it shite you? Oh.
I don't know. I don't know how that would work. But I think the whale's stomach would be that big. You could probably kick a boot in there for a whale. And there'd be plenty of food like you. Like the amount of fish that would be coming your way.
Fucking sharks in that, based on what you were saying as well.
Aye, sharks, boats.
Imagine if it hit the shark cold though, and the shark comes in, and you're in the something, you're like, fuck me, and the shark eats you.
That's the end of the film.
Aye.
That's what happens. That's what happens. It's the twist at the end. They're like, yes, the whales come to our rescue, and the whale swallows you. You get out the submarine inside the whale's belly, and it's like, hiya, I'm here as well.
That'd be mental.
Aye, and then the shark eats the whale from the inside. That's how it wins. So, right, that's our time anyway. Right.
For everybody will be fucking delighted. They'll be like, I am not subscribing to that shite. They'll be saying now, just as you're about to tell them to go and do that.
I would tell them to go and subscribe because there are no more nautical questions in the list. There's nothing about us trying to work out whether a whale could fight a submarine or a shark. James has shown me something here. Is that a man swallowed by a whale by Cape Cod and he survived it.
Did your wife sit and listen into this?
She's working. Lobster Dive, Michael Packard, inventor of the printer, with his pal Hewlett, of Wellfleet, gives a thumbs up by Friday morning. He got swallowed whole by a humpback whale off the coast of Provincetown, Massachusetts, and then escaped. Some boy, yeah. Get your printers to work though, mate, where you start getting fucking wide about surviving whales. Right. Anyway, right, thanks for tuning in. If you want to hear more, go to our Twitter, click on the wee link to subscribe. You'll get another episode of Shortbangers, a little bit longer than this one. All right, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your questions. We'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't